Class 9th. Today we are going to start with the new topic Gautam Buddha and Buddhism, which is a part of lesson 3, page number 121. Main objectives: his early life, teachings of Buddha, sects of Buddhism. Before the discussion of topic, we must know the following terms. Astrologer, a person who studies about heavenly bodies or predicts your future. Luxuries, a state of great comfort or elegance with great expense. Compassionate, feeling of showing sympathy and concern for others. Ponder, to think about, especially before making a decision. Austerity, condition of living without unnecessary things and without comforts. Penance, punishment inflicting on oneself for wrongdoing. Middle path, the eightfold path of Buddhism between self indulgence and self mortification. Ostentation, the showy display of wealth and luxury to impress others. Nirvana, salvation, release from the effect of the karma and cycle of rebirth and death. Enlightenment, state of getting the spiritual knowledge. Gautam Buddha and Buddhism. Gautam Buddha was founder of Buddhism. Buddhism was a middle way between Hinduism and Jainism. Gautam Buddha belonged to the Kshatriya clan of Shakya. He was born in 563 BC at Lumbini near Kapilavastu. His mother Maya died when he was still a child, so he was brought up by his stepmother Gautami. At the time of the birth, an astrologer told that he would either be a great emperor or a great saint. He was given the best education and provided with all comforts and luxuries of life. He was thoughtful and serious and always pondered over the sufferings of life. He was married to a beautiful princess Yashodhara at the age of 19. He had a son named Rahul. Gautam Buddha left his home and kingdom at the age of 29 in search of truth. This event is known as the Great Renunciation. There is a great reason behind the Great Renunciation of Mahatma Buddha. Once the charioteer of Mahatma Buddha took him to the town. The appearance of an old man, bent with the age, moved Gautam's. Gautam was very astonished to see this thing. When charioteer moved ahead, Gautam saw a sick man who was groaning with pain, and his position was very pathetic. Then he saw a dead body of a man being carried, made Gautam think about man's destiny. All such things disturbed him lot. He was consoled when he saw an ascetic in search of salvation. These sites are known as the four great sites. Gautam left his home, his wife, and his child in order to find solution. This event is known as the Great Renunciation in the history. For 2 years, he became the disciple of Brahmins and read Vedas and Shastras. But this did not bring peace. He went to Gaya and sat under the peepal tree. At last, Buddha was enlightened. At the age of 35, this tree came to be known as Bodhi tree. After attaining enlightenment, he went to Sarnath and delivered his first sermon at Deer Park. This event is known as Dharma Chakra Parivartan. Buddha believed to be died at the age of 80, means in 483 BCE. Now let's come to the reading part. Gautam Buddha and Buddhism, page number 121, his early life. Gautama or Siddhartha was the founder of Buddhism in India. He was son of Sudhodana, the chief of the Shakya clan of Kapilavastu in Nepal, Tarai. That is why he is called the Shakya Muni. He was born in 563 BC in Lumbini, garden near Kapilavastu. His mother Maya died when he was still a child, so he was brought up by his stepmother Gautami. At the time of his birth, an astrologer told that he would be either a great emperor or a great saint. He was given the best education and provided with all comforts and luxuries of life. But he had a contemplative mood and compassionate nature and took little interest in the worldly affairs. He was thoughtful and serious and always pondered over the sufferings of the life. In order to divert his attention from his side, his father married him to a beautiful and accomplished princess named Yashodhara at the age of 19. He had a married life and had a son named Rahul. It means Gautam Buddha was founder of Buddhism. He belonged to the Kshatriya clan of Shakya. According to the one legend, he was born in 563 BC at Lumbini near Kapilavastu in Nepal. His father Sudhodana was ruler of Kapilavastu. Time of birth. One astrologer predicted about his future that he would become a great emperor or a great saint. He was provided a good education with all comforts and luxuries of life. He was inclined from the childhood towards the spiritual knowledge. All the royal luxuries in which Gautam Buddha lived had no effect on him. He was married at the young age to a princess called Yashodhara and he had a son named Rahul. All these comforts could not give him the solace and peace of mind. He was still unhappy. Once, after seeing an old man, a sick man, a corpse, and the ascetic, he realized the true nature of the world. He left his home and kingdom at the age of 29 and went in search of truth. This event is known as the Great Renunciation, as we have discussed. For 2 years, he became the disciple of Brahmins and studied the Vedas and Shastras. But this did not bring him peace. Then he practiced severe austerity and the penance as an ascetic and reduced himself to a mere skeleton. This also did not bring him any satisfaction. Then he went to Gaya and sat under the peepal tree and absorbed himself a deep thought. At last, one night, the true light dawned on him and he became the Buddha or enlightened one at the age of 35. This tree henceforth came to be known as the Bodhi tree. After leaving home in search of truth, Gautama wandered from place to place for some time. He studied under the renowned teachers of Rajgira and went to Gaya. He practiced the severe penance and led the life of extreme austerity. Finally, at the age of 35, Gautam attained the enlightenment of Bodh Gaya in Bihar. That very incident, he began to be called the Buddha or Enlightened One. After attaining enlightenment, he went to the Sarnath and delivered his first sermon at the Deer Park. This event is known as the Dharam Chakra Parivartan or turning of the wheel of law. Hence, he found the 5 disciples who followed him. He spent the remaining 40 years of his life in preaching the doctrine from one place to another. The religion soon became very popular in the kingdoms of Magध and Kosala. He also established the order of monks called Sangha to preach Buddhism. The Buddha is believed to have died in 483 BC at Kushinagar in district Kushinagar of UP at the age of 80. His remains were distributed among the followers who raised 8 mounds or stupas on them. It means after the enlightenment, he embarked on preaching his religion. He delivered his first sermon at Deer Park in Sarnath near Varanasi in the presence of 5 ascetics. This event in the history of Buddhism is known as the Dharma Chakra Parivartan or the turning of the wheel of sacred law. Moreover, Buddha's fame spread far and wide. For another 40 years, he traveled all over the country spreading the message. He established the Bodh Sangha, means Buddhist order, at Magध. He had a large number of followers, including the rulers of Magਧ, Kosala, and Kosambi. His disciples were from all classes of society. It is believed that Buddha have died in 483 BC at Kushinagar at the age of 80. His disciples took his sacred remains of 8 different places where the huge mounds called stupas were erected. Teachings of Lord Buddha. Main teachings were as follows: Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Path, non-violence, silence over the existence of God, non-faith in yajnas, sacrifice, rituals, no faith in the caste system, nirvana or ultimate salvation, the karma theory, stress on the righteous conduct. Most important teaching is related with the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths are as: this world is full of sorrows. Desires are the main cause of sorrows. One can get rid of sorrows by killing the desires. Desires can be killed by following the Eightfold Path. Eightfold Path. Number one, the right belief, right thought, right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right recollection, right meditation. These are the main teachings of Buddhism. Now let's come to the reading part. Teachings of the Buddha or the main doctrine of Buddhism. The following were the main teachings of the Buddha which form the main doctrine of Buddhism. Number one is the Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Path. The Four Noble Truth preached the Buddha were: the world is full of sorrows. The desires are the main cause of sorrows. One can get rid of sorrows by killing desires. The desires can be killed only by following the Eightfold Path, which consists of the following principles like right belief, right thought, right speech, right action, right living, right effort, right recollection, right meditation. This path is also called the middle path, as the Buddha on the one hand condemned the life of pleasure as practiced by Brahmins, priests, while on the other hand he opposed the life of the severe penance as preached by Jains. Hence he preached the middle path of righteous living. It means Buddha followed a simple path and inspired people to lead a simple life. His message to people was that the world is full of sufferings and a man could attain salvation by following his teachings contained in the Eightfold Path and Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths, as we have discussed, the world is full of sufferings. The sufferings has a cause. Desire is a cause of sufferings. If desire is stopped, suffering can be stopped. To stop the desires, the person has to follow the Eightfold Path. Like right belief, it means to give up desires. Right thought, it means to remain away from the empty rituals and the worldly evils. Action means to remain away from the theft, luxuries, and violence. Right living means not to have the dishonest dealing with others. Efforts means do the good deeds for the welfare of others. Right recollection means think about the good things. Right meditation, concentrate only the what is right. Path is called the middle path, which is very essential for the right living. Non-violence. Like Mahavir, the Buddha too laid the great stress on non-violence towards all living beings. He believed that man should neither kill nor harm animals. He preached love for all living beings, but unlike Mahavir, he did not extend his concept of non-violence to inanimate objects like plants and stones. Means like Mahavir, Buddha attached importance to spirituality of life and followed the path of non-violence. Over the importance given to conduct and values rather than the claims of superiority. Silence over existence of God. Buddha was silent about the existence of God, though he was formally denied it. Buddha held that the whole universe was controlled by dharma, a universal law. Mechanical worship of God was brushed aside by him, and a high ethical code was elevated to the status of religion. Unlike Mahavir, he did not deny the existence of God. Buddha held that whole universe was controlled by dharma, a universal law. He was silent about the existence of God. Though he never formally denied it, like Mahavir, he emphasized on non-violence. Non-faith in yajna, sacrifice and rituals. Like Mahavir, the Buddha too had no faith in yajna and animal sacrifices. He had no faith in supremacy of the Vedas or the Brahmanas. He regarded it as a mere ostentation which was unless for the purpose of seeking salvation. That is why he opposed all rituals and practices. It means Buddha said that the yajna cannot change a man's destiny. Sacrifices and rituals are empty ceremonies. No faith in caste system. Like Jainism, the Buddha too had no faith in caste distinction. He opposed the caste system vehemently. He believed that men should be distinguished on the basis of their qualities and not caste. Buddha did not believe in caste system. He was in favor that person should be recognized by his works or qualities instead of his caste. Nirvana. According to the Buddha, the chief aim of the man's life was to lead a noble life and to attain nirvana or ultimate salvation. Whether a person is both a Brahman or a Shudra, he can attain the salvation by following the righteous path. This ultimate bliss or the salvation is called nirvana by the Buddhist. In this state, the soul becomes free from the eternal cycle of life and death. It means the ultimate goal of life is to attain nirvana or salvation, the eternal peace and bliss. It is a peaceful state of mind which conquer all diseases, make the person free from the chain of birth and deaths. The karma theory. The Buddhists believed the theory of karma and rebirth. He said that it was external law and man reap the fruits of his deed. None can escape the consequences of his deed. Buddhism believed in the theory of karma. Buddhism said that man is maker of his destiny and it believed in rebirth. The evil deeds will be punished. Therefore, man should not follow the evil deeds. Man should follow the middle path. It is a karma which decides the type of man's existence in the next life. It is called the wheel of existence. Stress on righteous conduct. The Buddha stressed the importance of the moral living. He paid more attention to the purity of thought, word, and deed. His teachings were showing the kindness to animals, telling the truth, avoid stealing and immoral living, not to indulge in pleasure, etc. It means Buddha formulated a code of conduct for the followers. This included the following: not to tell a lie, not to own property, not to consume alcohol drinks, not to commit violence, not to indulge in corrupt practices. Buddha stressed on the importance of the moral livings. He paid more attention to the purity of thought, word, and deed. Teachings were showing the kindness to animals, telling the truth, avoid stealing, and immoral living. We will discuss the sects of Buddhism. Buddhism split into the two sects, that is Hinayana and the Mahayana. The term Hinayana means the lesser vehicles of salvation. According to Hinayana, Buddhists are the staunch believer in the teachings of Buddha. This sect denies the existence of God and believed that Eightfold Path is the only means of salvation. The other sects, Mahayana. Mahayana means the greater vehicle of salvation. According to Mahayana, that Buddha was an incarnation of God, that he was the one who could ensure salvation. Worship of Buddha became an important component of Mahayana Buddhism. Now let's come to the reading part. Sects of Buddhism. During the deliberations of the Fourth Buddhist Council, Buddhism split into the two sects, the Hinayana and Mahayana. Hinayana. The term Hinayana means the lesser vehicle of salvation. Hinayana Buddhists are the staunch believers in the teachings of Buddha. It denies the existence of God, holds that the Eightfold Path is the only means of salvation. It regards the Buddha as a human being who attained the enlightenment and nirvana through his own efforts. It means in Hinayana sect, Buddhism follow the original Buddhist philosophy. They do not believe in idol worship. They consider Buddha as their teacher and guide. Focus of Hinayana Buddhism is a mediation and pilgrimage as a means of self-improvement. Mahayana. The term Mahayana means the greater vehicle of salvation. It believes that the Buddha was an incarnation of God and is the one who can ensure the salvation. According to Mahayana, the Bodhisattva are the holy Buddhists who had not yet attained nirvana like Buddha, but were the proceeding rapidly towards it. Worship of Buddha and Bodhisattva became an important component of Mahayana Buddhism. It means the Mahayana is a form of the Buddhism in which Buddha is worshipped as a god. It means the term Mahayana means the greater vehicle of salvation. It is a combination of Buddhism and Hinduism. Mahayana believes that Buddha was an incarnation of God and he was the one who could ensure salvation. Followers of this form means followers of Mahayana or Buddhism worship the statues of Buddha. Children, in this video we will do till here and you will have to reread this part, learn the basic terms, related question answer and kindly follow the SNAP homework. Thank you.